What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoon's Delight. So, just as promised, y'all, I was gonna do this video on rebuilding toxic attraction and damage control, man. I sent out the community post Thursday morning, finally getting a chance to record this video, and I could not wait to record this video, man, because there's a lot to talk about, and to me, this feels like a new era in the upcoming heels in the WWE right now, and I think we got some really good superior talent coming out of NXT that that they could build, the women's division around, man. So, without further ado, after, we're going to talk about toxic attraction first. So after what happened on Tuesday night, which officially signaled the end of the toxic attraction that we knew, that had Mandy Rose as their leader and Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne as the henchman, is now over. Now, we don't know if this is the official end to toxic attraction or not, as I'm making this video. But I don't think toxic attraction should end as a whole. I think that Jacy Jayne should just move into the leadership position. Now, let's talk about Jacy Jayne for a second, because Jacy Jayne has been the one that's really, truly blossomed through toxic attraction. She's been the one that, a lot of people didn't know about her coming into the group. And, and she was always sort of in, by default, both of them were in Mandy Rose's shadow. I mean, because Mandy Rose is the leader, they're supposed to be in the shadow. But it seemed like Jacy Jayne was always the third wheel. She was behind Gigi Dolan. Gigi Dolan already had an audience from the indie scene. She had been in AEW, wrestling a couple of matches here and there. She was, very well known to be Darby Allin's side piece for a while, too. So Gigi Dolan had already been known. She already been known coming into the group. And, the other thing that Gigi Dolan has, too, she has a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? She has a fat ass. And, very thick. And so, she got some fans that like her for that. So, but meanwhile, Jacy Jayne has been the one who has been this flower that has blossomed during this whole entire time into something super beautiful, and has become the star that nobody saw coming. This is the star nobody saw coming, bro. This is very much Shawn Michaels. If you recreated Shawn Michaels today, HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, into a female wrestler of today, it will be Jacy Jayne. They did the exact same segment. Remember the barbershop segment back in, what was that, like 91, 92 with Marty Jannetty, and Shawn Michaels attacked this fool, man, put him through the window and everything. They did the exact same scene. This time it was on Bayley's Ding Dong show. And Gigi Dolan got her head kicked in. Now, the spot itself, like I said, I'm going to talk about this in the video. I haven't recorded that video yet, but I'm going to talk a little bit more detail what happened in the scene there. I'm not going to go into all of that here, because I don't want to make this like a super, super long video, but it is going to be a long video because I'm going to talk about what they should do with the groups. But it looked like it was a botch that maybe Gigi was supposed to go through the door, and she didn't, and she just hit her head like really hard, because she actually got some bruises from it. Now, I don't know if those are real bruises or not. I don't know if that was just something that, Gigi was selling, kayfabe type shit. But we'll see in the future, man. But it was a nice segment, man. Really put Jacy over as this evil heel that can't be touched. And a lot of y'all seem to agree, man, that Jacy Jayne is the one that's on the rise here, bro. And I think people have seen it for a while, too. They were just kind of waiting for Jacy to kind of break out of her shell and get away from Gigi Dolan. And that's why The only thing that I don't like about the split up of Toxic Attraction is that I hope it wasn't done because Mandy Rose not being here forced them to do this. To me, this should have been already a decision that maybe they were, but they were going to stretch it out to maybe doing it down the line. You know, maybe a little bit later this year, maybe next year they were going to wait to do this. But they were probably already planning on doing something like this. But now with Mandy Rose, I kind of forced their hand to do it sooner. And I think that's what happened. But there's no doubt about it. Jacy Jayne had to get out of Gigi's shadow, man. Gigi is so popular that it was hard for Jacy to really break out. And Jacy needed to get from under her shadow. And this is the way to do it. You got to separate them. When you have somebody that's a nobody next to somebody that is a somebody, in order for that nobody to shine at some point, you're going to have to split them up, bro. Because they're always going to be in the shadow of the other person. And this is why this was perfect. Now what I think you got with Jacy, because Jacy to me, look, Cora Jade is going to get there. I think Cora Jade's the number 2 heel coming out of NXT. But she still needs some seasoning as well. She's still working on her craft as a heel. You know what I mean? But I think she's passing it so far. But Jacy is the most convincing because it feels like that could be Jacy in real life. You know, she gives you that aura that this is like she's an evil witch, right? Like she's cunning. You know what I'm saying? Super arrogant, cutthroat like this. And you could believe it. Like, it's got some believability to it. And Jacy has always been that type of person, man. She's been that type of person, man. She's funny on the mic. That Chucky joke she cut on Gigi was hella funny. And the crowd going too. I was like, Jacy got the funniness to her, man. She a funny heel too at the same time. Very bratty, like it's the perfect heel to build a new stable around, right? She is perfect. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose was perfect as the leader of Toxic Attraction. But there was an element to me that was missing with them when she was the leader, right? Even when she was the leader, there was an element missing where I see it with Jacy. Jacy feels like, you know, Roman Reigns in the bloodline right now, like, you want to kick this motherfucker's ass. Like, Jacy makes you want to hate her, bro. Like, the way Gigi sold that, she sold everything about that crying, bro. The way she was whining after that, bro. Gigi sold it, man. Props to Gigi for selling that, bro. Because it really makes you feel bad for Gigi, bro. Because you really started to feel like Gigi wanted to change. Like, she was already talking about it on Bayley's show. She was starting to feel like, man, regretting, you know, all that time where she was being hated by the locker room and stuff like that for the stuff that she had did and, you know, the rest of Toxic Attraction had did to the rest of the locker room, bullying people. We saw how it got to Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez mentioned how they bullied her, how she's had to overcome it. So Gigi wants to get back in the good graces of the locker room. This is the perfect way to turn her into a babyface, bro. So, which was, I think, inevitable anyways. Now you get to build up Gigi Dolan now. Because Gigi Dolan was already over with the crowd. Now you get to build her up as a babyface? I mean, that's pretty good. And Jacy gets a chance to travel her own waters. Jacy reminds me of heel Shawn Michaels from back in the day. Really does. She's really good in the ring. Really special inside the ring. I think that's something that people really discovered about her as well, is that she's really good inside the ring. You could tell she's worked hard, bro, and that's what I love about Jacy. You know what I mean? I always felt like she was that shining star that just needed her break, just needed her breakthrough, bro. And she's got it now. She's got her breakthrough now. And this is perfect. And like I said, she reminds me a little bit more of Roman Reigns because you know how Roman Reigns is very cutthroat, right? Like, he don't take no nonsense or nothing. You know, If you don't do things the right way around him, or he don't trust you like he been doing with Sammy, he'll cut you out of the group. Jacy kind of reminds me of that. Like, Jacy will be, whoever she leads, they're going to be scared of her. And that's the type of heel at the top that you need up top of the stable, a believable leader. I think she's even, like, she kind of reminds me of Britt Baker too, but a better version of Britt Baker. Like, a slightly better version of Britt Baker, to be honest, because obviously she's better in the ring than Britt Baker. And then mic skills wise, she just has it. So now what you get to do is you get to rebuild Toxic Attraction around Jacy Jayne. You don't have to end, because Toxic Attraction is too good to end. You got the perfect theme music. One of the best entrances in the industry that I've ever seen in the industry, especially on the female division side. Now this gives you a chance to bring in 2 more females into a stable like this. Look at how over Gigi and Jacy have been in Toxic Attraction and how much it's helped Mandy Rose. There's no reason to end the formula. You keep it going. You just put 2 new females in there with Jacy as the leader. That's all you got to do. Now, I want to go to a posting here in my community tab because this one really helped me, bro, when I was going to do this video. And you guys put in some good input as well about what you would do as well with damage control in Toxic Attraction. We'll get to damage control as soon as we finish up with Toxic Attraction. So, Kingdom 1979 helped me the most because he put together how, the people he'll put in. So, with Toxic Attraction, he put in there Jacy Jayne as the new leader. And then this is who he's going to recruit. Tiffany Stratton and Tatum Paxley. That's perfect because I've already talked about putting those 2 in Toxic Attraction. So maybe he watched my videos because I've actually talked about this. I've talked about how Tiffany Stratton could be the next Mandy Rose. Because remember how Mandy Rose's character was before she came to NXT. And how she kind of was an improved version of Mandy Rose in NXT. You know what I'm saying? Like Mandy Rose always gave me that vibe that she was some type of porn star character, right? That was her character, was like some type of porn star. Right down from her original theme song that she had. Remember the one that goes like da 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 do 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 do. The one with the saxophone. Sound like 90s porn, bro. Like something straight out of 90s, 2000s porn, bro. So, when she was the goddess, bro, that really was her aura. And Tiffany Stratton reminds me so much of that. And I'm still trying to figure out where they got that name Tiffany Stratton from because I don't know if y'all know about the case, the Playboy case, because her original name, her real name is Jessica Woynico or something like that. Woynico. Something, I don't know how to say that last name, bro. That's her real name. But when they gave her this name, Tiffany Stratton, bro, this shit reminds me of Dorothy Stratton. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how many of y'all know who Dorothy Stratton is. Dorothy Stratton was that one Playboy model that got killed back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. She got killed by her boyfriend or something like that. That's what that reminded me of, bro. It reminded me of that. It reminded me of that for real, for real. All the way down to a T, it reminded me, like her name reminds me of that. And I wonder if that's where they got the name Stratton from, is from Dorothy Stratton. We'll find out one day where that name came from. I swear if it came from that. But she got the sexiness to definitely, in this role, to definitely pass for it. So, for sure, I definitely see Tiffany Stratton being in this group. There's no doubt about it. Like, that's the first person you put in there. And I like Tatum Paxley as well. Because Tatum Paxley, she's one of the more beautiful girls that they got in NXT right now. She will fit in there. She's kind of getting away from, Ivy Now and stuff like that. She's getting away from them. Like, I feel like she's been getting away from them lately. So I think she'd be a no-brainer, someone to put in here. She'd be a no-brainer. She'd be a no-brainer. brainer, bro. And the thing I like about Tatum is Tatum Paxley is developing nicely in the ring. Her match against what was that, Isla Dawn this past Tuesday? Probably gonna do a video around that. So definitely check out my channel to watch that recap. But I definitely thought that was her best match that I've seen her in so far. If she could get some more timing, like maybe work some live events over the weekends, the live events that NXT runs. I don't know if they allow their wrestlers to work the indie scene like that. I think some of them still do though. I can't remember though, but she just needs some more timing. But she could develop like a Jacy Jayne though. She only 26, so she still got quite a bit of time to develop herself in the ring, outside the ring. She need a new character, and going into Toxic Attraction, giving her a chance to develop that character. She's already beautiful, so she could. It's not going to take much to make her turn her character into a sexy character. It's not going to take much at all. She's got that. Like, she's one of the most beautiful characters. Beautiful females that they got. If you put together the WWE roster in NXT together, she'd be in the top 5 easily. She can keep up with Tiffany Stratton and Jacy Jayne for sure on the look side. Like, it ain't no game. Like, Tatum Paxley could do it. I like that move. But let me see. Yeah, so I definitely would do that with Toxic Attraction. I'm going to move on to Damage Control now because I don't want to take all day with this video, but let me just say this too. Before I move on to Damage Control. Vic Joseph and Booker T. It was already good when they had Wade Barrett there, but I'm telling you right now, man, Vic Joseph, nothing against my boy Kevin Patrick, but you gotta go. At some point, Vic Joseph needs to take over Raw, play-by-play duties. Because Vic Joseph, he did really well at Vengeance Day. And he kills it with Booker T. He been calling Booker T out on certain things. And Booker T been calling him out on certain things. Bro, props up to Vic Joseph, man, the play-by-play guy for NXT, man. This dude was selling that Toxic Attraction segment to a T. Him and Booker. You gotta have good commentary in order to put people over, man. You need it. You need it, man. But let's move on to Damage Control now, because Bayley was on NXT, like I said, for the Ding Dong Hello segment. And it got me thinking that they could run with an angle, man. First of all, look, y'all know me, man. If y'all been on this channel for a while, y'all know I've been trying to fix Damage Control for a while now. You know what I'm saying? I like Damage Control, but I feel like it's the parts in Damage Control which is not getting them over too much. Like, I feel like you can still run with Bayley and Dakota Kai, but I feel like the problem is Io Sky. And I love Io Sky. But I think the problem is that Io Sky doesn't know English real well, doesn't speak it. It's kind of holding the group back, because when you don't have, like with Toxic Attraction, even when Mandy Rose was there, we heard from Jacy and Gigi. You know what I'm saying? That's how I knew, like, I knew what Jacy was capable of starting when they started, when she started getting on the mic, the fall before. When they put them together. I knew what she was capable of. You know what I mean? I think they need to expand Damage Control. It doesn't just need to be 3 women. It should be about 5 or 6. It should be a pretty deep group. You know what I mean? It should be pretty deep. Because I feel like Bayley needs some help in the group as well to get them over. Dakota Kai too, because Dakota Kai is still trying to get herself established. She's still a new person to a lot of people, especially people that did not watch NXT, did not watch her on the indie scene. She's still kind of a new person to people. But people, I mean, like, if you watch NXT, you know who Dakota Kai was. But at the same time, the problem is that, yes, Bayley has the it factor. Bayley is the name of the group, is the big name in the group. But I feel like she needs more though. Like it always felt like it was just something missing with Damage Control, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's time to expand, bro. It's time to put some of them NXT ladies into the group. So going back down to Kingdom, because he got the list out, I would make Dakota Kai your assistant leader of the group. So your basic number 2. So whenever Bayley's not around, she's in charge. I will also put Carmella in the group. Now, I love what Kingdom did there. Put Carmella in the group. Shout out to Kingdom again. I would love to put Carmella in the group. Carmella really gives it an it factor now, right? You put Carmella in there. Carmella is someone that's always been good on the mic and stuff like that. A little subjective in the ring, but always been good on the mic, though. Always been good on the mic. She could do most of the talking. She could definitely be the boys' piece. I will probably make her. I know he just had Dakota Kai as assistant leader, but I have her assistant leader as well. Because she could definitely speak for the group. She's old enough to do it. She's been in the WWE for a long time now, just like Bayley. Why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? She's 35 years old. It's definitely time to run with Carmella as a leader of her own heel group, man. You probably do better with her as the leader than anything, to be honest with y'all. Big win on Monday, putting her in the Elimination Chamber match. She got some momentum. Now, this was interesting. Indy Hartwell, right? Indy Hartwell had a picture with Bayley. I don't know if y'all caught that. A real life picture with Bayley, bro. Things that make you go, So Indy Hartwell, better known by a government name as Samantha Day Martin from Australia, posted an interesting Instagram post, and it was posted 4 days ago, with her and Bayley. Probably while Bayley was in Orlando, they probably took this picture. Saying, do you miss me? So Indy Hartwell and Bayley hang out outside of the ring. Indy Hartwell will probably be on the main roster this year. I heard the draft. I heard a new date for the draft now, guys. They saying May 8th and May 12th for the draft. So remember those dates, just in case they don't change. So Indy Hartwell, right? Indy Hartwell is hanging out with Bayley. Why not put her in Damage Control? And I was thinking right now, what they can do is, see, I don't know who they already have in mind for the Nikita Lyons attack, but why not say it was Indy Hartwell who attacked Nikita Lyons? Why not just run with that? Perfect way to turn her heel. Because she's going to have to be heel in order to be in Damage Control. So I'll put her in there. Now you got someone who's only 26 years old. Because this is another problem with Damage Control. Too many old motherfuckers in Damage Control, bro. You don't got no prospects in Damage Control. In most good groups in the history of pro wrestling, succeeded when they had some type of young prospect in there. NWO had Big Show in there at one point. He was young when he was on there, Paul Wright. DX had Sean Waltman, X-Pac. And X-Pac was really the guy in that group that was really, turning it up a notch, right? Now, Bloodline got Solo Sikoa, who's only 29 years old. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see the future in that. Some groups can work well, just with the older guys in it or whatever, but I've always seen the bright side when you put two prospects in there. That's why Toxic Attraction works so well. Gigi and Jacy are like right around the same age. I think Jacy's a little older than Gigi by a year or something. If Gigi's not 26 yet, because I know Gigi's like 25, 26. I know Jacy's like 26. So like I said, Indy Hartwell, promising prospect, you put her in that group. She learns under Bayley, Dakota Cat, and Carmella. I'm going to talk about how they can write off Io Sky in this group, too. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that, y'all. This who else you going to put in the group? A little bit older than her, but you're going to put them in the group, though. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Yep. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Because Katana Chance and Kaden Carter just turned heel. And you have an angle for why you will put them in there, too. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter just turned heel this week against Roxanne Perez. After their loss, they're frustrated, and they came at, Roxanne Perez from a side angle, talking about you ain't got no friends and all this other stuff. They've been acting pretty cocky lately. Like, lately, they've been kind of, like, boasting themselves. And let's say Bayley be getting into their head. Bayley had a talk with them this week, and they came after Roxanne Perez. Now they in the group. Now you got Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, who I think are the best outside of Gigi Jayne and Jacy Jayne. Best tag team you can have coming up in the WWE. Now you got them holding the tag team titles instead of like Dakota Kai, Io Sky. You can have them holding the titles while Dakota Kai and Indy Hartwell become your enforcers. You can have Indy Hart, because Indy Hartwell got size too. She 5'10". She got size to become an enforcer on the team. She washed her back to Katana Carter, Kaden Carter. Washed the back of Carmella, Bayley. Now you got a full-blown faction with a lot of promise in it now. Now it's interesting. You brought in a Carmella, who's already been over. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Very popular tag team in NXT. And Indy Hartwell, someone that a lot of people really like. Now you got your young prospect in there. Oh, but you're not done yet. Oh, let me talk about how you're going to get rid of Io Sky before I talk about the next part. And then we're going to end the video. Io Sky. And I know Io Sky, she's cool with Bayley and Dakota Cat off the, outside the ring. It'd be hard to actually see them do this, but I think it's best for the group. And I think it's best for Io Sky. Io Sky need to be a solo wrestler. She need to be a baby face. Because she could take Asuka's role. Because Asuka is obviously kind of now and kind of this tweener, heelish character. And you can make Io Sky a babyface. She got that great moonsault move, bro. That's over with the fans. Make her a solo title. Make her come after the make her put her in a position where she could come after one of the titles. This is the way you're gonna do it. Because I thought about the way Judgment Day did their thing, right? WrestleMania. At some point, Dakota Kai, Io Sky loses their titles, and since I don't think Liv Morgan's going to win the chamber, you start building up Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox to take those titles from Dakota Kai and Io Sky at WrestleMania. Or I don't think you do this because I don't see Lita and Trish Stratus being around a long time. I was about to say put Becky Lynch with Lita or something like that. But why would you do that? I don't think, and Lita's not a full-timer, But I would have Dakota Kai turn on Io Sky and Bayley too. And then that's when you bring in Indy, Carmella, Katana, Kaden. Or maybe you wait for them to get drafted to do some shit. But maybe I at least do something with Carmella. So maybe this is what you do at WrestleMania. You have Carmella help Bayley and Dakota Kai jump on Io Sky. Right? You had them jump on Io Sky. So now Carmella and April is officially with Damage Control. The draft is in May. You bring up Indy Hartwell, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, they all on the same show as Damage Control, and they join Damage Control, right? Because by that point, you should reveal that Indy Hartwell was the one that did damage to Nikita Lyons. You have already built up Katana Chance and Katie Carter's heel run here at NXT. Now you got your full stable going. Io Sky starts battling, Bayley or whatever, Dakota Kai, Carmella, you know what I'm saying? Get some help for somebody that knows some English, one of the baby faces, maybe Bianca Belair. She becomes good friends with Bianca Belair. Do some stuff like that. Yeah, I do it like that. And then we keep this going. Bayley wants to expand in NXT too. She want a junior Damage Control, bro. And Cora Jade is going to lead that one. So now Cora Jade got her stable. Because I've been saying this, Cora Jade needs a stable. She needs somebody that's going to help. She needs some new henchmen who's going to help her win matches like Mandy Rose had. Because she needs to go up the ladder so she could get that belt from Roxanne Perez. Right? And basically what you will have now, you will have two power heel groups in NXT struggling for supremacy all over the NXT locker room. Jacy going at it with Cora Jade all the time. Sometimes they help each other out, but most of the time they at each other necks. You know what I'm saying? So this who you could put in Damage Control. So I'm gonna use King Dome's who he got, because he got a good thing going on here. So he put in there Stevie Turner, Amari Miller, Danny Palmer, Ariana Grace, who's y'all remember what's his name? Santino Marella? That's his daughter, Ariana Grace. That's his daughter. His daughter is Ariana Grace. And I think she's like 27 or something like that. So she's still kind of young. You could build her up. And Lola Vice. You got Lola Vice too. So, I mean, you could put anybody in there that needs to turn heel that's in NXT right now. It doesn't have to just be these names. But I like Lola Vice being in there because Lola Vice, she got a chance to really rise up. She got the beauty. She got she just got the it factor. To me, she just got the it factor, bro. She got the it factor, bro. I put her in there. I put her in that group. Danny Palmer, I turn her heel. I like what I've seen out of Danny Palmer, by the way. Amari Miller, who needs a run. Amari Miller is slept on, man. She needs a run. Turn her heel. Lash Legend has been pretty good as a heel, but I turn her babyface. Put Amari Miller in there and Stevie Turner. Now, Stevie Turner is the one that I'm kind of like iffy about because I think she could stand alone as a solo heel. I don't think you need to put her in the group, but I think I definitely run, like, the two that I definitely run with. If Tatum Paxley isn't in Toxic Attraction, I'll put her in here as well. Got Danny Palmer and Lola Vice. But that's your junior version of Damage Control. Another deep group. And then when they're drafted, when they come to the main roster, eventually they join the main Damage Control group. You know what I mean? And they look out for each other in NXT. They make sure they got things running in NXT, and then they got things running on the main roster. Because that's what Damage Control is actually all about. It's about controlling the locker room. And being at the top. That's what Damage Control is all about. So why not have that in NXT as well? Now you got an extension of that. The main thing that I'm sold on is that you have Cora Jade as the leader. Cora Jade goes to the main Damage Control in the future, and she's a leader in the future of Damage Control. Now, this is what I would do too. So Bayley, this is how I would write Bayley off as a leader. I don't know how long Bayley's gonna stay. Maybe she go to AEW one day whenever her contract is up. Because I know King Mike talked about this. King Mike's World. Shout out to King Mike's World. he been talking about how if Bayley ever considers maybe going to New Japan, like Mercedes Moné, because she been doing a lot of traveling. She might want to start traveling and get off that WWE schedule, bro. You know what I mean? She might want to start traveling and stuff. Why not explore that part of her career? You know? We'll see what, Bayley want to do in the future, though. But I'll write her out of the group at some point. She don't need to be the leader of Damage Control forever. And then what I do is I put one of the young prospects. You know what I'm saying? What you could do first, I will put either Indy Hartwell or Cora Jade as the leader of Damage Control. Just had them plot against Bayley and stuff like that, sort of like the Bloodline. You could set up a whole good storyline like that where they set Bayley up. And then this is what I would do, though. I would do something that's rarely done in pro wrestling, bro. And something that needs to be done a little bit more often. A murder mystery. I do a murder mystery. Look at Nikita Lyons, how interesting that is. Remember, Bayley's not around. She's not going to be in the company. So you can make it seem like she got murdered. And then the day she comes back to WWE, we find out she's not murdered. So whatever in the future, 5 years from now, whatever, we find out she's not murdered. You know what I mean? But they can make it seem like Bayley was murdered. That, you got whoever the leaders are in Damage Control at that time, whether it's Cora Jade, Indy Hartwell, or whatever, you had them do on some cutthroat stuff. And they act like they jump Bayley, maybe throw her off a river. Maybe you write it off this way. So in Detroit, right? You remember that bridge that they had in Detroit where I think it was The Rock who overthrew Stone Cold onto the Detroit River, right? I don't think they was on the Ambassador Bridge. I think it was a different bridge, but remember they overthrew this man. So I will whenever they go to Detroit. Because, by the way, SummerSlam is in Detroit, y'all. But Bayley not going to get kicked out this year. I'm talking about whenever her contract is over, she want to leave. Or they could, turn her babyface again. I mean, before she leaves as well. So they could always do that. But I still want to do it this year. I want to build Indy up. Cora Jade shouldn't be brought up for at least a year or two, to the main roster. Because she got to take care of Damage Control in NXT, right? She let her do that shit for 2 years. And then, like I said, maybe Indy Hartwell plots to take over Damage Control because she the young prospect, right? She the young hot prospect. She takes over Damage Control. And she plots this thing where everybody in Damage Control, Junior Damage Control as well, they turn on Bayley, they throw her over the bridge, bro, and we supposed to think Bayley died, bro. Or just a straight murder scene, bro. Make it seem like Bayley got killed, bro. Make it seem like Bayley got killed, and it turns into a big-ass mystery, you know what I'm saying, who did it. You know what I'm saying? Because also what you could do is you could make it seem like it was just somebody random in the company that tried to kill her, but then it's revealed later when one of the Damage Control members reveals that they the ones that plotted against Bayley to get her out of the group and kill her off. I think that'd be great. That'd be fucking great. I think that'd be great. Because they should do something with Damage Control that they've never done before. I'm seeing how good the Bloodline storyline is and how you can do these storylines very creatively. It just doesn't have to be the Bloodline where you can do the storyline this damn good. You should be able to do it with anybody. So, let's see what they do, though, because like I said, they got a lot of layers to this. I put my input in the future for more things that they could do. I got no problem with doing that, y'all. But that's what I'll do. I'll do that, bro. I'll do that. But the first, to review everything, man. First, let me know y'all thoughts, and I'm gonna come back to wrap this up, man. Okay, you guys, make sure y'all going ahead and hit the like button, comment, and share the video. Also, make sure you guys also donate to the channel by hitting the thanks button below, or you can hit up the Cash App $SAC Exchange to send any donation to the Cash App. Here are the top donators, and you can fit yourself in this list at any time if you donate at least $2 or more. Thank you. So yeah, man. So the review, who you gonna put in Tatum? I was about to say Tatum. I was about to say Tatum Attraction, bro. This who you put in Toxic Attraction. Jacy Jayne, new leader. 2 new prospects. Tiffany Stratton, Tatum Paxley, join the group. Boom. You got a new version of Toxic Attraction right there. Jacy Jayne starts battling Gigi. She needs some help. So she goes and recruits Tiffany Stratton and Tatum Paxley. Boom. Boom. You already kind of writing it right now with Tatum Paxley is about to get away from Ivy now. Tiffany Stratton still hasn't been established yet since she returned. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Then Damage Control. You reboot Damage Control at WrestleMania weekend. Get Io Sky out of the group. Bayley still the leader. Dakota Kai and Carmella are your assistant leaders. You add Indy Hartwell to the group. So Carmella joins in when they get ready to throw Io out. It's still going to be 3. And then at the draft, they're going to expand to 6. And you're going to put Indy in there, Indy Hartwell, Katana Chance, and Kaden Carter. Now you got your Royal Tag Team in there as well. Continue to build them up as heels. Indy Hartwell, Dakota Kai, they're like your enforcers of the group. They protect Carmella, Bayley, Katana Chance, and Kaden Carter. And all this time, you're building up Indy Hartwell into like this next big thing, bro. And she becomes the future leader of the group. And then on the junior level, you have Cora Jade as a leader, and you just find a bunch of prospects in NXT that you're going to turn heel. So you got Stevie Turner, you got Amari Miller, you got Danny Palmer, you got Ariana Grace, Lola Vice, and some other people, you know, if you want to throw in there. That's just like a rough list I think Kingdom was throwing out there. So you got that. Boom. Now you got a junior version of Damage Control. Now you got control of the main roster locker room and the NXT one. The only person that you're battling is Jacy Jayne because she got Toxic Attraction. And then also, one of you guys gave this idea away too. You put all the Brits together and do a new witchcraft group with Isla Dawn, Alba Fire, and B. Priestley, who's Blair Davenport. That'd be pretty good too. All the Brits. Put them together, witchcraft group, supernatural group. You know what I'm saying? It's like that TV show Charm, except we gonna have a group version of it. Bro, because I like what Impact does with Death Dials, man. I like that stuff, man. I think they need to do that with Isla Dawn, Alba Fire, and put Blair Davenport in there. That'd be pretty cool, too. Now you got some solidified heel stables. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how you do it, man. I think that's how you do it. I think that's how you do it, man. We're going to talk about this for a while, man. We got a lot of time into the draft, bro. Got a lot of time before WrestleMania in the draft. Let's see what they do, though, because they need to reboot Damage Control, though. They do. And they need to reboot Toxic Attraction with Jacy Jayne as the leader and put those people that I just mentioned in the group. If Tatum Paxley don't go to Toxic Attraction, put her in Damage Control with Cora Jade. Put her in there. Put her in there. She got to go to one of the 2 groups, though. And then I'm looking at Danny Palmer. Danny Palmer is someone that I really like. But she's coming off as a pretty strong baby face right now. I know she's been jobbing to people, but I don't care about that. Like, you can always have her start winning matches. But Danny Palmer is someone that I'm definitely looking at. She got really good in-ring ability, and I'll do that. And then you start building up girls like Sol Ruka. Zoe Stark is some... Oh, I forgot to mention this. Because I was looking at Kingdom's list, and he had Zoe Stark in there. Zoe Stark could go to Damage Control, too. Zoe Stark could be good at Damage Control as well. She old enough, too, to be on the main roster this year. I put her in there. She had a good showing at the Royal Rumble. I think she's ready to come up. Out of nowhere, her and Indy Hartwell are clicking as friends now. Like that's one thing you could do too. I might have to talk about more about that in the future, but I'm gonna do more of these, y'all, man. I'm gonna do more of these type of videos, man. We're gonna talk more a little bit like with things. So yeah, so we're gonna see what they're gonna do with toxic attraction. Either Tuesday or next Tuesday or whatever. We're gonna see if it's just gonna be like a Gigi versus Jacy storyline for a minute. Like they just do that feud before they consider doing any expansion work with with Jacy as the new leader of Toxic Attraction. Cause it's interesting too, man, cause like I'm guessing since Jacy don't got no other theme song right now, it's interesting that they did play the Toxic Attraction theme song when they went off the air on Tuesday. But there's no reason to abandon Toxic Attraction. Just make make Jacy the new leader. Recruit Tiffany Stratton and Tatum Paxley. And you got your new Toxic Attraction right there, or whatever other girls you want to use in Toxic Attraction. You probably use a Lash Legend in there too, man. She's sexy. I think she could be in there too. They got some parts, man. They gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? They really do gotta think about it. Cause when Jacy not going to be on NXT for a long time. So that's why I like the fact that you can have a Tiffany Stratton, a Tatum Paxley, a Lash Legend, or something like that. Take over Toxic Attraction when she leaves, because Jacy should definitely be on the main roster next year. Bring up a new version of Toxic Attraction on the main roster. She could continue that. So, because they really should start having these groups crossing over between NXT and the main roster, because these are brands now. Like these, like it's like Bullet Club. Y'all know Bullet Club, man. AJ Styles and all them, Finn Balor. It's like Bullet Club. Bullet Club is in all three promotions. It's in the WWE with the OC. It's in NXT. It's in Impact Wrestling with Chris Bay and stuff like that. It's in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's in ROH. Originally came from ROH in New Japan. Then also because I think Switchblade is gonna come up, right? Switchblade. I think Jay White. I think he gonna come up pretty soon to the WWE. I heard. And then you got AEW got Bullet Club. So everybody got Bullet Club, bro. That's why I said these like Toxic Attraction and Damage Control should be brands that go beyond even the WWE. It should be everywhere you go. You got some form of semblance of Damage Control or Toxic Attraction, bro. It should be big like that. But if Toxic Attraction is something that's specific to the WWE, I can understand that one. But Damage Control should be in every sort of company. Like, that's a female version of the Bullet Club, bro. I'm thinking they should do that with whatever they got going on with Tony Storm and Saraya, too. Form like a little faction like that, bro. I think it'd be pretty cool. Like, NWO was everywhere in WCW, bro. Everywhere. You had all of these affiliate groups, bro. It was, man... It's a brand, bro. That's what they should be doing. But be on the lookout, though. I'm going to wrap this up. Be on the lookout for polls. Ask about members to be in the group. Definitely going to gather some research. So when I do my next upcoming videos about this subject, we're going to continue. Like I said, we're going to continue to hammer this home. Don't worry, y'all. If y'all feel like, y'all want to hear more about it, don't worry about it. We're going to definitely talk about it, man. Until I see the right changes, we're going to keep talking about it. Because they got to do this right, bro. Because there's no reason to get rid of Toxic Attraction. And then with Damage Control, there's no reason to get rid of them. You just got to fix them. Let's not be lazy, bro. Let's not get rid of stuff, bro. Just because you can't figure it out. Don't get lazy. Just fix it, bro. You got something good. You got to fix it. That's it. You just got to fix it. If I can figure it out, y'all should be able to figure it out too. Come on. All right, thank y'all for watching. Peace.